Good morning, Captain Bombasso. How are you doing this morning? Just doing some preliminary checks. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Luckily that my days of that is over. So, yes, it is Friday. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today. I'll go ahead and get things rolling. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I kept hearing people that retired and they didn't know what to do with themselves. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. So far, it's worked out. I'm gonna go ahead and start up the stream then. Let's see if we can get this thing going. There we go. Yep, looks like I'm streaming good. Grab this in the right place so I don't break anything. All right, you're out of the way. I don't need you anymore. Okay. Alrighty, we're in Mexico again, and we're gonna be in Mexico till basically I go to Flight Sim Expo. So I'm just going to continue to explore Total Mexico, and what I've been told is that the developer of Total Mexico is about 80% done with all the redoing all the tiles along the shorelines of Mexico, and it's going to be really cool. So so sometime during the time I'm going to be streaming down there, we'll get to see the improved shorelines and how the water interfaces with the shorelines with the Ortho for XP version 1.40 and with X-Plane 12.1.0. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, I am. I had planned on basically streaming Orbix True Earth Great Britain, but they only had done part of it, and I see that South is coming soon. Well, sorry, too late. And then I looked at I took and checked what's the difference in size of Mexico versus Great Britain. And then I found out that Mexico's probably 3.5 times larger than Great Britain. I went, well, that's cool. And then just the variety of the terrain is just incredible. You know, where you have really high mountains and then you have really lush green spaces. So so I decided I'll spend my time down here instead. So a couple of things going on is I have enabled since SimHaven, there are some patches for it. I've re-enabled SimHaven so for America. So that's an added feature, and I'm trying to think what else I did. Something else. I think that's about it. That's about it, because I had it disabled before. So, alrighty, let me see if I can remember how to get this airplane started. So we'll put some power on, and I'll put the beacon on. We'll put the fuel pump on. Whoops. Get some fuel flow going here. Cool. Maybe she'll start. Yeah, there's a patch for it. If you go on xplane.org and go to the section where SimHaven is, there's a pointer to the patch. Basically, what it is 2 facades, cars and trucks parking. There's 2 facades that have a problem, and if you put that patch in there, you just replace the other ones, and that air's gone. So that's what that's all about. Yeah. So we'll let plane warm up a little bit here. I'll turn the taxi light on. What is the altimeter? 2988. 2988. Exactly right. Says 3180. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. So this should be 3180. So rank you up a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like the fact when I click on this here, this button, it resets that. And resets it to standard. So it should be 2989. So that's pretty close. And the elevation is 3126. So up just a little bit. Yeah, so if you mistakenly do this and click on the trigger button when you're trying to grab this, you'll reset it. So, where does that not look right? I'm gotta be up a little bit more. So that's off by a little bit. 2998. Okay. All right. Well, got that going. Cool. Alrighty. So what do we got for winds going on down here? Okay. 8.5, 4 knots. So 8.5. So I got a runway 8. So I guess that's where we're gonna take off. We'll take the heading bug and we'll turn it to 8. That would be 6, 7. That looks a little weird, but that's okay. Yeah. E would be 9, so that'd be 8. So, okie doke. Trying to think if we got anything else. Oh yeah, we got to get some. Gotta get the avionics running here. Alrighty, let's go get a flight plan. Little knob. So we're going from JA-VR. Here we go. Enter. And okay. All looks good so far. So guess we will go ahead and this doesn't have a lot of taxiways, so we're gonna have to do a back taxi. So we got the and right now we're gonna be kind of 3,000 feet or so. So I'm not gonna have to worry about the mixture. So let me see what I get when I spin around here. So if I start going this way. Nope, need to go back this way. We're just checking on my heading indicator to make sure when I start going down here that this will be in the bottom. So when I spin around, it'll be go in the right direction. So it looked like I could have taxied down a little bit, but just the way the taxiways are done, they're not complete. So in other words, they stop right there and then there's grass and, you know, it's kind of like, okay, I'll just back taxi. So righty. And when I spin around down here, I gotta do a couple of more things that I should have done when I was on the taxiway. Wow, we're gonna be going uphill a lot. These are not flat airports. Wow. I'm gonna go down in this turnaround area and do a couple of things. Oh yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and I wanted to get here. Okay. Let me put the parking brake on. Land on, taxi off, screw over here. Mountain over there, that's a volcano. It's an ice-capped, snow-capped volcano. It's so cool. You know, when I landed here, the developer was in chat, and I looked and I went, is that volcano? And he goes, yeah. And I went, oh, that's too cool. Alrighty, get turned around here. And a couple more things to get done here before I take off. Whoops. Put parking brake back on. Alrighty. Flight plan. Search. VR. Okay. What's the last one? Whoops. MMMT. Not two T's, just one. MMMT. All right, we're good. JA. Don't need you anymore. Need a map. And that'll be good for right now. Because we could do this one, but I don't know how well this is going to work. Yeah, might be okay. We'll see how it does. Alrighty, get you back over like this. And go ahead and turn for takeoff. Full power, climb a hill. Yeah, we're actually going to stay kind of along the coast. So we're not going to be, at least I'm not thinking we're going to climb any more mountains today, but I could have misjudged. Alrighty, let's go fly. So I have a little script that I'm running that basically gives me every 10 seconds it goes and finds the winds, finds the altimeter, and that kind of stuff. So so the altimeter setting, the data rep I was using was not working right for me. So I had to find a different one. So. Alrighty, so let's do a little turn here. See if we can get kind of headed for the flight plan. Kind of looking, making sure everything's kind of looking okay. Yeah, fuel looks good. I'm not sure why the fuel's as high as it is, but that's okay. Alrighty, let's put it on nav and a AP. Probably pull the power back a little bit. What are we doing this morning? Yeah, we're actually looking pretty good this morning. So I'm running X-Plane 12.1.0 Beta 2. Was kind of surprised we had a second beta already, but fly with Lua on my 4090, actually on this machine, the Linux, fly with Lua and Zinc didn't get along. It didn't get along very badly. It crashed. So Beta 2 fixed that, and so that's cool. And so that's all working again. So. It was about maybe 8 bug fixes. One of them was that. One of them was Zinc on Linux. That I wasn't the only one having a problem. So, what the other ones were, I actually just don't remember. So, it's been hard to keep track because there was basically so many changes in one, you know, that it was just hard to keep track of all of them. So. But all in all, I've been happy. I've been very, very happy with what I've been seeing. So how far away are we? So we're about 35 miles from the next airport. So. Oh, I think we're good. I'm just gonna do an altitude hold here. But I don't think I'll put some terrain on, but I don't think there's any terrain going in the direction we're going. So, because we're kind of going towards the coastline. So all of this is going to be pretty much non-mountain. So the mountains are kind of behind us and to the side of us. Yeah, so I wasn't sure if I was going to stream yesterday. The fact that they released the beta was kind of good. I didn't. I was working on updating this little plugin I have, this little script I have. So this little script, basically what it allows me to do is, initially what I wrote it for was pilots wait to see if it can't find files in real weather, then basically it diverts to NASA plugin, and I didn't like that. So basically I wrote this little script that says I can put in an airport identifier, and then if I click on this one, this is if it's in real weather. But if I click on this one over here, it'll create this one's for manual weather. So if you have it set for manual, it'll basically create a file, put it in real weather that basically it will use, so it fools flight up to ATC to thinking that it has a proper file. And I made sure that the formatting and all that stuff was right. But what I didn't have is that right now you can see I put in MMVR, that airport we're going to. And so when I clicked on that, then it says, okay, we're on real weather. It found the ICAO code for it. That's matched. And it found the real weather METAR file. And basically that's the name of the file. The other thing I have is this is local. So basically, as I fly along, this altitude and the wind direction will change, because it's constantly, every 10 seconds, it's looking at the data, the weather data refs, to see what's the weather around you. So it constantly, and I did this especially for mountains, so that I'm always sure I have my altimeter set correctly, you know, so that when I'm going to go over a mountain, I'm sure that I'll clear the mountain. So that's usually why I wrote it for. So So it works pretty good, you know. Just another gadget in my virtual cockpit. Today it's not as important as it was when I'm flying in mountains. So, whoops. Kind of running my engine a little harder than I need to. Actually, I'm probably 2,400 is probably enough. What's my altitude? Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't need too much more than that. Trying to get it dialed in here. So the cool thing, whenever I write these, the cool thing that now the way Fly with Louie is basically I can write this whole thing in 2D and be assured that when I go into VR, it'll work the same. It'll be just the same. It'll work. And I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to tell it. It just automatically, if the script works in 2D, when I go into VR, the script will work the same in VR. So that's a pretty cool feature. So. Yeah, as a VR only user, yeah, it's real important. So. Oh, really? Yeah, I watch a VR flight sim guy, and with his motion rig, and that looks pretty interesting. But I don't have enough. I don't have enough real estate. There you go. Yeah, that probably would be important. One thing I stumbled into this morning was. My yoke is a Fulcrum 1, so one cool thing about it is the throw of it is longer than most other yokes, and the shaft's a 1-inch shaft, so it's pretty stout. So when I fly an airplane, when I'm not using autopilot and I'm landing, I've learned that I fly with like a couple of fingers. So, But the problem with that is if the shaft in the yoke isn't strong enough, then you're gonna side load the shaft, and if it isn't stout enough, it's not gonna be smooth. So trying to do a smooth landing would be difficult, and so that was kind of why I got this yoke, and I got it right. I had pre-ordered it, and right at the beginning of COVID, that's kind of when I ordered it. So the developer had all kinds of supply chain issues where he had a company in China kind of set up to develop him electronics. That fell through. He had to get a local. He's out of the UK. He had to get a local company in the UK to supply his electronics. So it took quite a bit to get it up off the floor at that time, because UK was locked down pretty tight, and but I finally did get it, and but when I first got my first one, I kind of like I pulled it back and forth, and I went, something's wrong, and what it turns out is the sprocket that he put in there was kind of like out of kind of like styrene plastic, and it didn't handle shipping well at all. so that the sprocket there that basically was the indication for the yoke in and out broke, and so he sent me another one. It took him a little bit because he had to redesign it. So And so he redesigned it. And then I think something else happened where the yoke wouldn't stay tight. So this clamp mechanism that clamps onto the shaft was actually made out of sheet metal. Now it's cast, so it's much stronger. And so I'm on my third yoke, and but very happy. So this morning I'm looking, and who was it? Russ Barlow, I think. I'm thinking that's who it was. But he was showing off a new yoke that is, actually it's not new. Actually, the company has been around for a bit, but it's a force feedback yoke. And it supports Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, and DCX. And they're going to start a Kickstarter soon. And so I have a bad taste in my mouth for Kickstarters because Apara burnt me on a Kickstarter. So I have a little bit of a bad taste. But so basically, this yoke's going to start at what was it, $8.99. So when you think about it, like a force feedback yoke is kind of they're unique. There isn't very many of them around. And this guy here has got like servo motors in it. I mean, this thing is stiff. So when you turn it on, it does like a pre-calibration. And so it kind of goes through all of its motions before it gets ready to run. And so it's kind of like, well, that's kind of cool, you know? So I'm really tempted. They will be at Flight Sim Expo, and they're actually going to be at Sun and Fun too. And so I am certainly going to look them up, and probably I'm thinking I'm going to kick my money into the Kickstarter because it seems like a really nice show. And the same thing, it has like you could just tell by looking at it how long the shaft sticks out of it. It's like, yeah, this is just like what a Cessna looks like. So I mean, it is nice. The shaft looked nice and large, and he had the cover off it so that you could see the servo motor and stuff. And I mean, I'm a retired electrician, so I know how servo motors work and what they're capable of. And I was like, well, that is really cool. So I think I'll probably go with a Kickstarter. So, alrighty, we better get back to our business here. Airports. VR. Oh, we got a tower? It says we do. We'll see if this guy thinks we have a tower. VR tower. Yeah, it says we do. We'll see if this part works. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Mike Victor Romeo is clear. Visibility is 6 miles, winds are 186 at 7 knots, cloud coverage is clear. Current QNH is 1003. Temperature 32.22.
Okay, so I'm 13 miles away, got a little time. So she said winds are 186 at 7 knots. 185 and 7 knots. Pretty close. She said the QNH was 1030. 1003. 1003. So that is like spot on. So that's cool. So we'll see 18. So I'm thinking we'll land on 19. We'll find out. Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 19er.
Cool. So we have runway 01 and 19, and it's going to be 19. So let's set this for 19. 18. 19. This look right? Yeah, I'd say it's pretty close. Okie dokie. So, me. Zoom you out a little bit. Alrighty, we're 10 miles out. Elevation 88 feet. We're a bit high. So we'll go ahead and take it off in autopilot. It's taken me a little while to figure out how to get the autopilot to disengage. Just because you disengage it here doesn't necessarily on a G1000 mean that you've actually disengaged the autopilot. So it's taken me a little while to kind of figure all this out. So I go ahead and highlight this, disable it, and then I come over and I click on the flight director button, and that basically clears out all this. So basically it's got the the autopilot fully disengaged. So alrighty, so if it's 1.8, so about 1,000 feet's kind of where we need to get to. So we'll just let this thing descend. Kind of looking out, so it's 8 miles away, and I'm still on target. So I can see, because I put this here, so the runway's going to be going like this in front of me. At least that's what I'm seeing. And I can't quite frankly say that I see it yet. So my graphic settings and stuff all seem pretty good for today. I don't see a whole bunch of shimmers in the distance, so that's cool. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land, runway 19.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf report left downwind for runway 19.
Will report left downwind for runway 19 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So the important part is seeing the runway first, so you can kind of set up for doing the downwind. Like I said, I'm way too high, so so if we have to circle the field or whatever we got to do, that's what you got to do. So we're 5.8 miles away from the airport. So what we got? So we got an 8,000 feet or 7,800 feet runway here. So it should show up. Let's see if my landings are any better. I'm going to try to level off at like 2,000 feet here. So I can... yeah, I heard about that. There it is. Does that look correct? I think so. So let me look here. How's this gonna go? Yeah, okay. All right, so if I get over on this side, pretty sure that's a runway. Looks about right. like a runway to me. A little hazy today. No, that isn't yet. Let's try this. Wrong way. That is a runway, but that is not the runway. So I'm going to get around this. That was a little deceiving. And maybe a taxiway, or it may be a really short runway. But all I knew is when I was looking at everything, I was like, no, that's not right. It was at about 90 degrees of where I needed to be lined up. And I was like, whoops. Okay, we'll figure it out. That certainly is a runway there. And I don't see two runways on my map, so. But we'll figure it out. So as I make the turn over here, then my heading bug's going to be in the bottom. So that's how I knew when I was looking at that, kind of like the heading bug's at 45 degrees to where I should be. So I'm like, that's not going to work. Okay, that absolutely is a runway. That must be a taxiway. It's kind of weird, or just a little runway. Wow. That's my 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Oh, once again. You turn the train off. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Veracruz Tower on 118.5, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound for touch and go, runway 19.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Veracruz Tower on 118.5, please repeat your request.
Whose Rex is that? I guess that's close. Well, you already gave me permission to land, and now you're going to give me grief. So we'll just do a touch and go. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 19.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 186 at 7 knots, cleared to land runway 19.
Cleared to land
Bravo
runway
Golf.
19 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 186 at 7 knots, cleared for the option runway 19.
Cleared touch and go runway 19 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Not too bad. No, I didn't force it. I just kept it. I just figured just let the thing flow. Because I didn't practice at all. I just said, no, we're just going to go for it. And, but I just did not let it land until it was ready to come down. I'm not so sure why it wants to float forever, but it definitely seems to want to do that. So it's kind of like, okay, if it's going to float, if you try to put it on the ground, it's going to bounce. So, nah, just wait. So, alrighty, we got to be on the heading of 134. So I think, nope, go the other way. Yeah, way better. I'm happy. I don't like floating down a runway that far, but I knew it's a long runway, so it's good. So if it's a 3,000 foot runway, that may be a problem, but Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel clearance. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Veracruz Tower on 118.5, go ahead.
Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cancel landing clearance.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Veracruz Tower on 118.5, go ahead.
Cancel clearance, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Aircraft calling Veracruz Tower, say again with your call sign.
I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing to quit. I know I can like disconnect and connect and it'll quit, but I want it to like just say, okay, I did a touch and go and now I'm done with you. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request frequency change. Oh. So, where are we going? I think, if I remember right, I got a waypoint and then the last airport. Because originally I would go like out over the water, so I made myself a waypoint out here that's gonna fly to, and then go back towards the airport. So, because I would fly out over this water, and I just thought it was a bad idea. The next airport's at sea level too. So, But I think I got a small hill I got to get over if I remember right. Nothing too big, but. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Cancel landing intentions. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Veracruz Tower on 118.5, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Cancel landing. No, haven't found the right phrase yet. I love it. Because I asked the author of Pilot to ATC about it, and he told me what to do, but I didn't write it down. So when you're in a VR cockpit, it's not the time to go trying to figure out where that information is. So it's just life. So instead, I'm just going to disconnect and then reconnect. And well, then that will be forgotten. I would like to do it a little cleaner than that. That's life. So it looks like we got, we're going to a fix 23 miles. Like everything I'm seeing, like it looks nice. I'm pretty happy. So the water can look better, and it will. So I was hearing about people having stutters using Global Forest version 2, but I'm not seeing that. I'm just not. Everything that I'm seeing is pretty nice. So. We'll probably level off at 3,000 feet here, and whenever it seems like whenever I come down here, it seems it's always a bit hazy down here, so, along the shore. A couple of days ago, I left out of the original airport I took off from yesterday, or a couple of days ago now, and there was a storm like over Mexico City. That was intense. So I took off from that airport, and I looked and I could just see this cloud. So I had on the weather radar, and I didn't realize that actually was working. And but I could actually see where the cloud was. So on here, like here where it says green, it's because of terrain. But there it was because I was there was a cloud, and so you could actually see how big the cloud was and how long it took you to get through there. But it was like lightning in the clouds. I mean, there was lightning and there was a storm, and the new lightning looks so much better. It's really nice looking. So, you know, and then I could feel myself getting kind of jostled around in the cloud there. But I could see exactly when I was going to get out of the cloud, and look down there. As soon as it said the cloud was there, I was on the other side of it. It was pretty neat. So, but I was just playing. I wasn't streaming at the time. So, but it was really a great experience. So. So I'm pretty excited to see what this new yoke, what it feels like when you actually use it. That's going to be cool. And I certainly won't be at Sun and Fun, but I will be at Flight Sim Expo, so. Because that's about the only thing that I would want to add. There isn't, I'm pretty happy with my rudder pedals. I'm actually happy with this yoke, but like a force feedback yoke would be even better. And the only downside right now is the, like say I trim with my VR controllers, and right now that yoke doesn't take that as feedback. The feedback is if you trim it with the trim switch on the yoke, and I'm kind of like, I can probably work through that. It probably would be okay, but it's not how I'm used to flying airplanes. So, but some airplanes I do trim with the trim on the yoke. So it may not be as big a deal. So. But it does look really, really interesting. So. Okay, so we got typo or tropo and terrain on, so that's cool. Oops. Running the engine a little bit too hard. Yeah, that'll. So I would say about half of my VR friends are reasonably happy. The rest of them are not. So it's just hard to tell why experiences are so different, but they are. So, but that's even with there's seems like there's a reasonable sized number of people that are getting stutters, and they've got them both in 1 and in 2, and I'm not so sure what's the common factor there, because yeah, but there's no common factor. I mean, maybe there is. I mean, maybe it's just this. There's no doubt that going from 12.0.9 to 12.10, there's a lot more demand on the computer, whether that be GPU or CPU. But there is more demand. There's no doubt about it that a lot of the things they brought were demand more. So if you were like borderline in 9, and you went to 1.0, that may be the deal, you know, because one thing I learned, man, many years ago, before I was even in VR, is the worst thing you could do is run out of RAM, whether it is regular RAM or VRAM. It didn't matter. You run out of it, it's going to get real unpleasant, and that was before. When you run low on RAM, they started changing the res. That was before that. It would just come to a crawl, and you know. So if you got too low, it would just get bad, and because normally what would happen is if you got way too full on VRAM or RAM, I mean, then the frames would go from, they may be down around 2025, and they would go down to single digits, and that's an unpleasant experience. Way unpleasant in VR, but even in 2D, it's an unpleasant experience. So, but there is a vast difference. But everybody's computer's different. So even if you're running exactly the same CPU, motherboard, and GPU, just in how you happen to have it configured, can make a difference. Can make a pretty big difference, actually. Boo. That's not good. Yeah. Might be related. That might be one of the artifacts of not using the X-Plane 12 water in when the tiles are created. Because all this is done with ortho per XP, and originally it was originally done with 1.3 ortho per XP, and 3.0, and then it's getting converted over to 1.40. So and that'll be just down the road a bit. So. So we have like mountains kind of in the distance. So and I think when I turn, I've got to do a little bit of climbing. Got to climb up over some elevation. It's not a lot, but my map will tell me if I'm too low. Yeah, I'd rather be flying here than where I was. I was flying way over out there, and so if I had an engine out, I'd be pretty much out of luck. And we're here. At least I got some land that isn't too far. It's certainly within glide distance that I could put this guy down if I lost an engine. So it's kind of important flying in there. Certainly a lot of water down in this area. I'm back to a different thing. Yeah, and you can see the shorelines don't look quite as good as they could look. So that will be updated. So. Nah. I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I live on Lake Erie, and so when I'm flying, part of the time I'm always on the shoreline. So it I want it to look better, look as good as it could. So that's kind of my view. So, and it's kind of why when I Yeah, and I know what it looks like with if I have ortho per XP turned off. I know what it looks like, so I know what it's supposed to look like. And in the same way as like you look down here, you know, you look at that's just artifacts. So it's just not. It's not how it should be looking. So, but and I tried to make some tiles for 1.4, but with using Ortho for XP with 1.4 the beta, and but that was with 12.09, and it didn't look good at all. So it looked way worse than the Bolt. So kind of like went, okay, well, I guess I'll have to wait a little bit. So, but then I seen some of Iceman's scenery and what he was showing off, and I kind of like went, oh, that looks really nice. So, and then I realized that he was the author of Total Mexico, and went, oh, okay. So let me come down here and play. So that's a little ridgeline here I got to get over. So I'll probably have to climb a little bit. Yeah, let's change the range a little bit. See what we got. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to get up a little bit higher. We're at 3,000. Let's go to 4. Whoops. Just the terrain is so varied, you know. Mm. So at MMMT, looks like it's got a also has a runway 19 and 10. So the winds are 180. So looks like we're landing on 19 on that one too. So my altimeter's a little bit off. 959. Right here in a bit of the boonies, so everything looks really good. Towns and stuff here, man, are really spread out. I just want to make sure that because I added the Sim Haven, you know, that it wasn't affecting the scenery. But when I look at like OpenStreetMaps here, no, there's just like not much here. I mean, you know, there's it looks like there's something over there. But in general, there's just not. Then you can see that we're going this way. So you can see that town over there. So. Or it might even be this town. Yeah. Yeah. That is right there. And then this is that over there. Yeah. Cool. Kind of looks like we're going to be okay. See if I can do this and not get locked out of the cockpit. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, sometimes when I try to get out of the cockpit in that, I have a voice command for it. Sometimes when I give the command to put it back, I'm like sitting almost like I'm straddling the tail. It's kind of like, and I can't get back in the cockpit. And I haven't found like a default thing where I can just go, okay, I need to get back in the cockpit, but I just haven't found that. So. Where X-Plane's quite a bit different in the way their camera system works. It's kind of, if I say go back in the cockpit, it's going to put me back there. And in VR, it's kind of important that you want to be looking, basically, in my case, I want to be looking right straight through the middle of my yoke and looking straight ahead. And not looking up, not looking down, but straight ahead. And then it'll put me right back in the same place where I was when I left. So. See the altimeter change just a little bit. So climbing up through here, pretty important to make sure you keep a check on that. And that's kind of why I added that. It's for that reason, you know, so that certainly don't want to just fly into a mountain when you could do something about it. So. When I look at the map, you can see. So this area here to the left. So you got brown, you got yellow, and you got red. So the very top of that is red. So it's certainly above where I am right now. But right now, we're not even close enough where it even is brown. So. It's always deceiving when you fly up towards mountains that sometimes you really think that you're going to fly right into it. But in reality, it's just an optical illusion. So it's taken me some time to kind of fully understand that. But I learned that when I spent some time in the sim flying in Arizona. And some of the mountains I was flying in, they were pretty. They were as high, if not, they were not quite as high as what I'm flying in here, but they were pretty high. They were in the 8, 9, 10,000 range. And so it took me a little while to understand that if you can see over a ridge, then you won't run into it. If you can't see over it, then there's a chance you will. So, but if you can see on the other side of that ridge, then you'll certainly clear it. So, it just took some time to kind of understand that. So. We got another town coming up here. Kind of interesting how spread out they are. Pretty clear day today. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today, but my girlfriend was, today's her birthday. We went out for dinner yesterday to a new Mexican restaurant that we had never been to before. It was really good food. I was pretty happy. And so today her daughter's taking her up to the mall. And so I says, what time's your daughter coming? She says 10 o'clock. And I went, oh, cool. That way I can stream. And I didn't say that to her, but so her daughter calls back and says, I'm not going to make it here till 10:30. She got here at about 10:40. But I just wanted to, you know, if she's going to be out of the house, and I'll go ahead and stream. So I'll be done streaming, but before she gets back home. So she said her daughter was gonna buy her a couple of dresses. So. Yeah, and since I've increased my anti-aliasing, let me... They need to fix this. You see where this is shaded? That shade needs to go all the way up here, so that up here is easier to see. If this shading was all the way to the top, then this all would be easy to see. So I kind of know where it is. So my anti-aliasing was here. I used to run it here, and I moved it up by 1. If I go up to here, I'm going to kill my frames. So I'm looking so far up, but this is kind of where I'm running right now. So pretty much up here, this here, cloud high, shadow aircrafts only, rendering high. I want to see all the buildings, and vegetation just kind of in the middle. Zinc is enabled. Drop parked vehicles. No, I don't want that. And that doesn't seem to work well in VR. It does in 2D, but so here we go, back in. So when I had that anti-aliasing down a notch, then there would be quite a bit of shimmering going on in like a town like this. So now it's pretty good. I mean, I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing. So, and the computer seems happy. So that's cool. You know, where you can kind of find a tune split. You've got your graphics kind of tuned to where the computer's happy and what you're seeing in your headsets, and you're happy. So. Oh, we got 22 minutes to go to the last airport. What are we doing on fuel? Yeah, we're good. I'll jump out of the cockpit again. Everything looks kind of okay. Excuse me. Whenever I make a change in my scenery, I always like to kind of make sure that I didn't change something that makes it actually worse than it was. So, and I'm kind of looking at these towns, and it doesn't quite seem right to me. I need to come back and revisit that, you know, because I've been able the Simhaven stuff, and I'm at 4,000 feet, so I'm up a little bit, but not sure. I just haven't made my mind up yet. But I plan on spending some time down here, so before I'm done, I'm sure I'll get it all figured out. But yeah, you're running beta software, things can be a little challenging. We need to get back in the cut. I don't think I'm too low, but at this angle it looks that way. I doubt it. Alright, back in the cut. Yeah, I guess I'm okay. Another illusion. Yeah, because I've learned you don't have to be 2,000 or 3,000 feet above these ridges. If you're 1,000 feet above them, you're good. So, no sense in wasting the fuel. But the amount of detail, like when you look here, you see the washes and stuff. That is so slick. Just the way this has all been done. So. Really gets you to kind of enjoy the terrain, you know, like just what nature's done. So from my viewpoint, explain 12.1.0 is certainly a marked improvement, at least through my eyes, and as a VR flight simmer. It really happy with what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's kind of funny with Fly with Lua. I heard somebody say that on Linux they got a crash, and I'm like, okay. I don't remember one, and but since I've been flying in VR, I haven't been spending as much time in Linux, and I've been spending way more time flying than developing. So. So I said, well, let me fire it up. So sure enough, I went on Linux on this machine, and I have a dual boot on all my machines, and so I fired it up, and sure enough, got a crash. And I went, well, maybe it's a script. So I got rid of all the scripts, no scripts. Fired it up, nope, same thing. And but it did like an automatic crash report. So I sent the reports, and then I says, okay, let me fire up the debugger. So I fired up GDB and started run it with GDB, and it caught the SIG fault, and so I sent the terminal dump to X-Plane, and And whether it was me or it was other people that kind of did similar things, they evidently they found where the problem was, and so it was really crazy. So what's happening on my machine with a 4090 in it? I have a machine with a 3090 in it, no problem. I have a machine with a 2080 Ti in it, no problem. So it was just my 4090 machine. It was bizarre. So, and at first I thought I had an older driver, so I said, well, I'll update the driver. So updated the driver, it made no difference at all. So I'm kind of like, okay, whatever. So. Yeah, so through here, I mean, there's no real mountains. It's just a little bit of elevated terrain. So. And when we get past that, then it's you can see where it's lower out there. It's hazy, but you can still see where it's lower out there. And on the train map, you can see it. So we're over some brown right now, and then we'll go over green. So that's pretty close to sea level. So. So when I fly in VR, I have my yoke is bolted to my clamp to my desk, and so I have my so I turn this on. So the yoke is exactly how it would be in like a real airplane. You know, I make sure when I set all this up that when I pull the yoke all the way back, it comes back against my belly, and so that's how I get that part set, and then what I do is I take my chair and I take one of the legs and put it. I have my pedals on a wheel stand pro, and there's a shaft coming out of the front of it. I have bungee cord wrapped around it. So I pull my pedals back to where when the chair, when I have the one arm leg of that chair support up against the wheel stand pro, and then I bungee cord the post on the wheel stand pro to the post on the chair, and that way when I move my yoke or give my rudder pedals, I can push as hard as I want, and the chair won't go away from me, away from the yoke. And that has worked out really, really well. So what I do to make that happen is I adjust this virtual cockpit. So you see my VR controllers, I'm right on the edge of that. So they're actually, the edge of the desk is actually behind this. So what that means is that I can feel the yoke right here. So I can feel that. But all these switches, all of this, I don't hit the desk. You know, because that's kind of what people say, you know, well, you can't fly on a desk in VR because you'll hit the desk. No, it's how you configure things to make it work. And took me a little while to learn this. I used to have a Cessna, a Pro, one of the Cessna Pro yokes, and I had that mounted on my Wheelstand Pro, and what I would do is I had that setting off to the side of my desk, and I would pull it out and put it 90 degrees with my desk, and so that was just like a lot of work. And but when I got the Fulcrum 1, I mean, this Fulcrum 1 weighs, I just weighed it this morning, it weighs about, what's that weigh? Weighs about 15 pounds, so it's not light. So when I put it, I looked at it and I went, there's no way I can put on the Wheelstand Pro, it won't stay up. And so I went, well, okay, I got to find a different plan. And so that's what I come up with. I decided I'll leave my pedals mounted to the Wheelstand Pro, and then they're just the mount for it. And then that's what I come up with the bungee cord idea, and went, oh yeah, this will work. Because originally I had like a piece of plywood with a hole cut in it. I had that, and but I come up with the bungee cord idea, and I went, oh, that's way better. That's much easier. So to get myself like all set up, ready to fly in VR, I'm probably okay. Not realistic. Okay, well, we'll see. But so that's kind of what I come up with, you know, and it seemed to work. It seemed to work pretty good. So, alrighty, how far away are we? We're about 8 minutes, 15 miles. So pretty soon, probably ought to get rid of some elevation. Let's see what we got here. 36. So, yeah, let's just refly it. Whoops. Yeah. Mean bot. Alrighty. So we're going to be on 1.9. I already have that set up. So, hey, weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Mike Tango is clear. Visibility is 7 miles, winds are 166 at 13 knots, cloud coverage is clear. Current QNH is 1005. Temperature 33°.26.
Stay active, runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 19er.
Okay. So when I get down to 2,000 feet, I'll level off. Why did you say that? I want to be slow enough, close enough that I can actually see the gauges. But everybody's different, so. So, this is my yoke. My yoke is the same distance as what it is in this cockpit. So I would think that's right, but we're back on course here. Which Mark, you fly in VR? So one thing that I'm using a Bigscreen Beyond. The Bigscreen Beyond has a narrower field of view than what let's say a Pimax has. So because of that, I have to not look with my eyes, but actually move my head. So it makes it a little bit different on how you approach flying. So on a really wide field of view headset, I could hold my head straight ahead, and I could out of the corner of my eye see that screen over there. The narrower field of view doesn't allow you to do that. So they may be related. Okay, 7.5 miles out from the airport. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land, runway 19.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf report left downwind for runway 19. Will report left downwind for runway 19 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
I don't see it as it is that close, but and it may be. I'll look at the BOD. I'll look at the BOD and see what I see. Yeah, and streaming VR is a serious challenge. Lots of things to go wrong. Yeah, 108 hours in a Cessna 172. But a few years ago now, maybe between 5 and 7 years ago now. So it's been a while. Okay, gotta find this airport. Oh, okay. Okay, airport, you're 4 miles away. Where are you? I'll fly right by you if I'm not paying attention here. 3.5 miles. I'm going right straight towards it. I'm only about 500 feet above pattern, so I would think I should see it. Is that it right there? It could be 2 miles. Yeah, maybe. You can't see the outline of the runway, though. That's what bothers me. .7. That's gotta be it. Which way are we going? I'm going the right way. Okay. There it is. Wow. That's hard to see. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Tower Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Minititlan Tower on 118.1, go ahead.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19. Whoops, wrong way, Bill. That ain't downwind, you're upwind. Kind of looked at my heading plug was in the wrong place. I went, oh, that ain't right. Yeah, that 01 there, that ain't 19. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 19.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf QNH is 1005, call turning final for runway 19.
Okay, we'll do that. Mm-hmm. Whoops. Whoops. A little too close in. Not good. Not good at all. We got to turn off down here. Hopefully. Not up the backtrack. Looks like there's some asphalt there. Oh, no. I was looking at the chat window. ABA, ABA. Alrighty, we made it. Bad landing again. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Oh dear. I don't know what's going on with me. Whatever. Oh, okay. How do we do? 2 hours, okay. Yeah. So, we did make it here. That's good. Got that up. Okay, that's off. That's not good. I had the fuel pump on. Let's see here. Turn up the avionics. Fill the mixture. Alrighty. Yeah, I gotta do some exploring because some of them towns didn't look right. They didn't look like what I remembered. I may go back to the original airport and take off and fly over Mexico City and see what it looks like. I won't do it on stream, but I think I will. I'll go ahead and do that. So, oh well. A little disappointing, but that's okay. That's you keep playing, you'll learn. Hopefully. Alrighty. Thanks all for stopping by, and really appreciate the interaction with chat and stuff. It's just a lot of fun. So we're gonna call it a day, and I don't think I'm gonna fly anymore today. So sounds good. Yeah, glad I can give you some entertainment. So still trying to figure out what. I thought I had my airspeed bled off well enough, but I could just tell it as soon as it hit the ground, it just bounded. Kind of like, okay, what made that happen? But whatever. Thanks much. If you enjoy the content, please click on the follow button. And we always stream in VR, and until I go to Flight Sim Expo, I'm going to be streaming in Total Mexico. So I'm enjoying the heck out of this, and it's a lot of fun to kind of explore areas that you've certainly never been to in real life. Closest I've been in Mexico is Nogales. That was it. And so it's kind of interesting to kind of do some exploring and showing off Total Mexico. It's just it's a lot of fun to do. So thanks much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.